In the UK, despite mass surveillance, an adequate level of data protection is guaranteed, says the EU Commission. Transfers should remain possible. On Friday, the EU Commission initiated the process to give companies and authorities the option of transferring personal data from the EU to the UK. After what they say a thorough review, it was concluded that an adequate level of data protection is guaranteed in the United Kingdom, said the Brussels government institution. A reassessment of the legal basis for data transfers became necessary with Brexit. Since the turn of the year, the UK has been a third country within the meaning of the General Data Protection Regulation, the GDPR. Without an agreement, much stricter provisions would apply. With a Trade and Cooperation Agreement, the TCA, agreed at the end of 2020, a 6-month transition period for data transfers came into force at the beginning of January. At the same time, both parties set about agreeing a longer-term solution. On the EU side, such an approach requires official confirmation that UK standards are broadly in line with those of the community set out in the GDPR and the parallel Police and Judicial Data Protection Directive. According to the Commission, the UK must in principle also comply with specific additional requirements in this area, which result from the opinions of the European Court of Justice, the ECJ. With its decision, the EU Commission has now published 2 drafts for corresponding adequacy decisions for the GDPR and the directive. The Commission asserts that the rules on data access by British authorities were also carefully examined. Here too, the level of data protection is essentially equivalent to that in the EU, they say. In this area, however, the greatest hurdles for releasing the data flow are likely to lie. In the UK, security agencies have broad powers of mass surveillance. According to the Investigatory Powers Act of 2016, for example, the GCHQ, which works closely with the NSA, is allowed to undertake massive interventions in technical equipment. The civil rights organization Privacy International was only recently able to achieve in long-standing court proceedings that the Secret Service is no longer allowed to hack smartphones, computers, and entire networks abroad on the basis of general court orders using state Trojans. And what does the ECJ say? In the case of the USA, the ECJ once again found in its ruling against the Privacy Shield last year that laws there allow mass surveillance by security authorities such as the NSA or the FBI, and that the data protection standard therefore does not correspond to that in the EU. A similar announcement by the Luxembourg judges could also threaten the decisions on data transfer to the UK, and it's not unlikely. The Austrian activist Max Schrems, who set the ball rolling for the Privacy Shield, announced that he would take a close look at the drafts for the adequacy decisions. Nevertheless, the Commission believes it is on the safe side. I think they're wrong. They refer to the 2019 annual report by the UK Intelligence Controller at the Investigatory Powers Commissioner's Office, the IPCO, which stated that the GCHQ well outlined the critical role of mass communications data in the range of activities undertaken in the cases we inspected. The auditors had analyzed the type of information requested and the operational requirements and concluded that the approach was necessary and appropriate. The same applies to the domestic intelligence service MI5. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson repeatedly stressed that with Brexit, his government would pursue a line detached and independent from the EU in terms of data protection. In this case, it is hardly possible to speak of a comparable status. The Commission intends to anticipate this by making the resolutions initially valid for 4 years. The UK has left the EU but not the European data protection family, said Vera Jourova, Commission Vice President for Values and Transparency. Oh boy. The European Data Protection Board, the EDPB, and the member states still have to give their placet to the initiative, as we would say. Great Britain has already decided that the EU guarantees an equivalent level of protection and that data can therefore be transmitted freely. The IT association Bitkom welcomed the Commission's step. This laid the foundation for that the data transfer between the EU and the United Kingdom is seamlessly maintained. It is now important to end the still ongoing limbo and the uncertainties for the digital economy. Many companies from the EU rely on British service providers, especially for cloud services, as well as maintenance and customer service. And to be honest, I'm not very confident in the future of this, and I don't see that the ECJ will let this live for a long time. But if you want to stay informed, please subscribe to my channel and to my other channels. I'll see you in my next video. Auf Wiedersehen.